Hello, everyone. How are you today? We are about to go live also um, on Instagram. Hold on one second. I'm just trying to find where I created my live. So give me one moment. Oh, it's not going to work. I don't know where I created it. See, these are the things I'm learning. Anyway, I just want to say hello to all of you who are joining me. What we're talking about today is the prefrontal cortex. And I'm really excited to talk about this topic because how is your prefrontal cortex connected to your health is what I want to share with you today. We have quite a bit of things going on in our lives right now, and we don't understand why certain things are happening with our brain, especially our brain, right? And so, what I want to do is talk to you a little bit about that, and then we're going to do some readings. So, you do get that opportunity to ask me questions and then receive a reading as to what your prefrontal cortex is doing and if it's congested or what's going on. So again, I want to welcome all of you. I'm so glad that you are here today, and we're live here with you as usual on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern. And we're doing something a little different because, of course, I love to do readings and give you a scan. But these are not just readings. We're going to tune into very specific part of your energy, of your body, and your brain. And that's the prefrontal cortex. It's this area like right here. Right? Many of you may have heard of the prefrontal cortex, but this is the area of your brain right behind your forehead. Okay. And it plays a massive role in how you live day to day. More than most people realize it. It really helps you with focus, how to make decisions, regulate your emotions, and most importantly for today, what I want to talk to you about is your intuition, right? How important is that to all of you? Is your intuition important? Because nowadays, if you're not using your intuition, you're you're really missing out on a huge part of what you're capable of and the direction and the goals that you have and the dreams that you want to achieve, because and especially your health, right? Because when you go to the doctor, they don't always have the solution for you, and that's my experience. And so what is your prefrontal cortex saying? Why does it feel so heavy? Maybe why are you having brain fog? And we're going to talk a little bit about that. But what I'll be doing today is tuning into your energetic state of the prefrontal cortex and giving you some ideas of what's blocking it. Sometimes we don't know because we're not intuitive with our body enough, or we sometimes feel like we don't trust the messages that we're getting. That's why I'm here for you to help guide you and give you some of the messages that your body's trying to tell you. And this will give you some insight into your mental clarity, your connection to your inner knowing, and if your prefrontal cortex is even overloaded, right? What's affecting your system? Now, I can educate you all day on the prefrontal cortex because I love this area. I see it as the area of consciousness. I'm a medical intuitive, and so I see every part of your body in a different way. But the prefrontal cortex, it has these lobes, and I call them angel lobes because those are connected to your higher consciousness. Okay? And here's the thing. The prefrontal cortex is your command center of your brain. When it's online and functioning well, you feel centered, you feel sharp, you feel calm, you feel capable and excited about life. Okay? Now, you know what you want. You trust your gut. You're able to pause before reacting. You can plan ahead, you can solve problems, you can regulate your emotional response when your prefrontal cortex is working. Okay, but when this area is blocked, which it could get blocked by stress, trauma, inflammation, or energetic congestion. And that's what I like to tune into. Like, what is happening? And as a medical intuitive, I could tell if something does not feel right, if the wiring or if there's misfiring in the prefrontal cortex. Is it not communicating with other parts of the brain? Now, you'll often experience when the prefrontal cortex is blocked that mental fog. How many of you have that? Just raise your hand, right? Well, I can't see you raise your hand, but raise your hand in the comments. Surely you could probably raise your hand in the comments, you know? But so good to see you, Therese. So good to see you, Abigail. And I see so many others of you joined here today. Greg is here, Courtney's here, Leah's here. So wonderful to see you guys. And I hope that you take away something that can help you really bring your life back together if you feel like you're stuck or you're not motivated, you're procrastinating, like things like that. But let me share with you a little bit more about what you're feeling right now if you are stuck or if your prefrontal cortex is energetically congested or even physically, okay? You're going to have trouble focusing. You're going to overthink things. You're going to have anxiety. You're going to feel frustrated and totally disconnected from yourself, okay? And from a medical perspective, long-term stress actually stinks. Because what it does, it is shrinks the prefrontal cortex. Harvard Medical School has done research on this, and it can impair your ability to make thoughtful decisions and increase your emotional reactivity. Okay, so how are you going to know that your prefrontal cortex has shrunk? Well, you know, these are the things. It's like that long-term chronic stress. And right now, so many of you are in fight, flight, or freeze. It's constantly like jumping, you know, we're constantly in jump mode. I guess we could say that. You know, if something happens, we're like, oh my God, what happened? Right? If somebody's talking on the phone, we're like, what happened? What happened? Nothing happened. It's okay. You know, the way we are reacting, and when you pay attention to the way you react, will tell you what the nature of your prefrontal cortex is. Okay. But from an energetic perspective, which is what I see, and I'm not a medical doctor, so I'm making that disclaimer right now. I'm not a doctor, but I am an intuitive. And what's happening is that the frequency around this area becomes clouded. It gets static, like trying to tune into your favorite station, but the signals keep cutting out. It's like your Wi-Fi keeps cutting out, you know? And you're just not getting that good connection, right? And that is annoying. It's frustrating. And that's how the prefrontal cortex works. It is like your Wi-Fi. It's like your favorite station, whatever you want to analogize it by, you know, whatever analogy you want to use. But that's what intuition feels like when the prefrontal cortex is blocked. It just keeps cutting out. You know, and here's the thing, intuition is a biological process. It's not just spiritual, it's physical. And a lot of people don't realize that. See, the prefrontal cortex interprets subtle signals from your body and your environment, allowing you to sense things before they become obvious to you. So sometimes you're like, oh, I thought I heard somebody. You know, have you ever said that? Like, ooh, did you hear that? I thought I heard somebody. And then people are around you are like, no, I didn't hear anything. And then it becomes obvious to you that you did hear somebody or something. Okay. So that's your intuition, right? Now, here's a stat that might hit home. All right. About 90% of people say they've had intuitive experiences, but only 20% say they consistently trust or act on them, which I didn't know that. I didn't realize that only 20% trust them and act on them. I had one of my intuitive students, my medical intuitive students, because I teach medical intuition. And the other day, she was telling me that she was standing at a red light and she had this intuitive hit that somebody passed a red light, and she wasn't sure who that message was for. She thought it was for her. But what was interesting is that day when her daughter came home, her daughter's like, somebody almost hit me because they passed a red light. So the mom got a hit, an intuitive hit about the daughter. And before she took my class, she wasn't getting these intuitive hits. She wasn't receiving all this information. And it's amazing how we can receive information for ourselves or for other people. Now, if she went on further to maybe ask, who is this for? Then maybe she would have gotten an answer. But that's the thing, that people don't know what to ask. And I get that all the time. Like, I don't know what to ask. And that's what I teach you, is how to become more intuitive and the right questions to ask. And once you start doing it, it just starts flying out of your mouth. You know exactly what to ask, and you start receiving information because you become a magnet. Your prefrontal cortex starts to expand again. That's how you open up your prefrontal cortex, where it has shrunk right now due to chronic stress. Guess what? You can expand it by expanding and developing your intuition. See, I'm going to offer, that's why I want to offer today some readings into the prefrontal cortex energy for you and how much it's currently blocked or open. And I'll give you a percentage as to how clear it is, and also share what might be contributing to this block based on what I pick up intuitively. So you're welcome to drop in the comments. Hey, Abigail. Hello, Hagus. Hello, Heather. I love it. By the way, Heather, I hope you received my email, because I did send you an email about tomorrow. So please make sure that you receive my email. So guys, if you would like a reading on your prefrontal cortex, let me know. Just put it in the comments. Just put reading or scan. You could even share with me if there's something specific going on in your life and you want a reading for that. So give me some idea as to what you would like a reading for. If there's something going on in your life, if it's a relationship, if it's if it's motivation, procrastination, if it's hormone, like whatever it is that is bothering you right now, your health is connected to your prefrontal cortex. Whatever's going on in your body can and is connected to your prefrontal cortex. Okay, so if you want to share with me exactly what's going on, I can kind of tune in and give you a reading. So go ahead, and I'm just going to look at the comments. All of the above, Therese. All right, you get to pick one thing, my friend, one thing, okay? And what I do want to do is, okay, so I do want to, before I do, while you guys put in the comments that you would like a reading or a scan for your prefrontal cortex, before I do that, I want to invite you to our Discover the Secrets to Medical Intuition. It's where I'll be pulling back the curtain and sharing with you what is the truth. I'm very excited to help you discover your intuitive abilities, whether you're a healer or new to this journey, whether you want more clarity or connection with your body, or whether you're just curious about what medical intuition is. I'll be telling you one thing. I'll be telling you three things, but right now I'm telling you one thing that is not true. And it's not just another healing modality. This is real life healing. that takes you a lot deeper than just the surface. So I do want to say that. And you don't have to know anatomy, you don't have to understand anatomy, but I think everybody knows where your liver and where your heart and where your stomach, all that stuff is. So if you want to join us for Discover the Secrets to Medical Intuition, I'm going to put the link here. Secrets to Medical Intuition, and I'll tell you what the link is. And you could also go to my Linktree link. We'll put the link there after this. So it's anandaforlife.com/secrets to medical intuition. Okay. And I will go ahead and put the link for those of you who are on another platform who are not able to click the link here. You'll be able to go to the Linktree link, which is up in my bio, and you'll be able to go ahead and connect with me that way. So I'll do it right after we get off of this live, okay? So before we get started, I know, Therese, you wanted a scan. So go ahead and give me, I see Janet wants a scan, Haggis, Abigail. Okay, awesome. So we've got a few people that would like a scan. Let me see what's going on. Okay, let me do hold on. Let's do Brittany first. Okay, brain fog, floaty all week. My mind is everywhere. Okay, I get it. All right, I'm going to tune into this, and it feels like your prefrontal cortex is operating at 35% capacity right now. There's a lot of heaviness and dull sensations around the front of the forehead, which tells me that there's not just cognitive overwhelm, but also emotional residue sitting in this space. Okay, this kind of brain fog isn't just about tiredness. It's often a result of constant context switching and emotional multitasking. Okay, and what I was doing with my hands is just kind of seeing, like kind of moving some of this so that I could dive a little bit deeper, okay? Because what I'm also picking up is that your system doesn't fully shut down at night, even while you're sleeping. There's activity up here. There's planning, there's worrying, there's running future scenarios. Okay. And energetically, it's like the lights are on, but nobody's home. Your brain is lit up, but it's too scattered to focus clearly this week. Okay. So my suggestion is to try some like mental detox, like no scrolling, no podcast, no reading, like just let your brain go empty for a while. Give it that time, because I noticed that happened to me too. And it's not fun when your brain feels clogged up. It's like when your drainage system is clogged up and the water's just backing up. So you just need to give it a little bit of space to breathe. Okay. And with medical intuition, Brittany, I know you'll be starting really soon this week. So it's going to help you to really stop guessing why you feel foggy, and start reading as to what's happening and start taking those steps, because your body's going to really say, hey, it's, when you do listen to your own body, it starts to scream at you, like almost to where, hey, Brittany, you need to stop. You need to take this moment to rest, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. So I know you're already starting the course. So I love that, that we're going to be working together, and we'll do some clearings around this during that time. But definitely for those of you who are interested in Secrets to Medical Intuition, come to the free masterclass that shares with you Discover the Secrets to Medical Intuition, because that's where you're going to find out more. Brittany's one of my students right now, and she's already started. And so let's see. I was going to go to Therese, I believe. Lack of energy, can't get anything done. Okay, so this one feels a kind of a freeze response, okay? It's a freeze response in the prefrontal cortex. Like it wants to move, but the signal doesn't quite get through. And I'd say what I'm getting from your body when I tune in, there's 50% access to motivational energy here, like to actual energy here that will guide you to getting stuff done. And to me, I see that as motivational energy because right now there's procrastination sitting there, right? Lack of motivation. And so we want to get that moving. And I feel like what I see is like this emotional backlog. Okay. And this emotional backlog is coming from failure, judgment, pressure to get it right. The prefrontal cortex works best when it feels safe to take risks. But when there's fear of not being good enough, this part of the brain downshifts and stops generating forward momentum. And also, what I'm picking up is that your system is trying to conserve energy, not because you're lazy, but because it's protecting you from disappointment. It's kind of like the spiritual self-preservation. Okay, the guidance that I want to give you is to stop aiming for like breakthroughs. Okay, just do one micro action that feels gentle and self-affirming, because when your nervous system feels safe, the motivation comes back online organically. So instead of pushing through the willpower, you're going to learn to listen inwards and move when your energy is truly ready, especially if you come to discover the secrets to medical intuition. Okay, so make sure that you sign up for that. Okay, we've got that coming up May 15 at 4 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so it's in the afternoon. I hope you will join us to give you some clarity. Okay. Anybody want to scan? Please put scan. And I'm scanning your prefrontal cortex right now as to what's going on with your energy in the prefrontal cortex. Okay. Let's see. Oops, I already got through that. Janet, hello, my love. I would like a scan, please. Okay, so Janet, I'm really getting like a little bit of chills in my upper body, and it's really guiding me to your hormones. Okay, your body is just saying something is off with the temperature. I don't know if this sounds familiar to you, Janet. Can you give me a little bit of an idea as to what's going on? Because I'm finding some hormonal imbalance. But if you could give me a little bit of a description, let me know. Therese says, wow. Yeah, I hope you will join us, Therese. And you guys are enjoying the readings. But Janet, if you could just give me a little bit of insight, I could guide you a little bit better as to the hormone part. Very tired. Yeah. So I am getting hormones for sure. The prefrontal cortex here is only functioning about 30%. And what's interesting is that it's tied to communication. Especially your stress hormones, the cortisol. If you're under a lot of stress right now, what's happening is that your cortisol is going up. Okay. And as your cortisol is going up, it's putting your hormones out of balance. And what I'm reading is that your system has been operating on high alert for too long. And that's pushed your adrenals and your nervous system into overdrive, which in turn is flooding your brain with stress chemistry. Okay, the prefrontal cortex is highly sensitive to cortisol. And when it's too high for too long, it starts to shut down to protect itself. And this can lead to irregular cycles, thyroid fluctuations, sleep problems, digestive problems, because your brain and body connection isn't synchronizing properly. Okay. So it's time to prioritize your nervous system. I mean, I have a program, especially for your brain, which works with the prefrontal cortex and your pituitary and your hormones. If you'd like to take a look at it, you can at anandaforlife.com, and that could help you. Okay. But this could also be a vagus nerve thing, and I'm just tapping into your vagus nerve, trying to get more information there, and that feels 50% blocked. So, this is going to require some hormonal balance through the command centers, okay, and through the prefrontal cortex by doing specific breathing techniques that are for your body type. You can't just pick one from YouTube. I highly recommend that you do not do that. Please don't just go to YouTube and pick one that you feel that would work for you. Don't do that. Somebody who knows about this specific breathing pranic techniques would be the best thing to help open up your prefrontal cortex. Okay. All right. So hopefully that helps. One thing that I'm noticing across the board is how many of you are carrying mental congestion, not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're overstimulated. And the modern world is intense. It's constant scrolling, nonstop decision making, pressure to perform. It all adds up. But what it's doing is it's clogging the energetic flow through the prefrontal cortex. And so if you're feeling disconnected from your intuition, you're feeling disconnected from your guides, you're feeling the uncertainty or constantly drained from overthinking, you just, at the end of the day, you're just like, I'm exhausted. I just don't want to do anything. That is the first sign that your prefrontal cortex is overstimulated. And your system's just trying to tell you that I just need to breathe. And sometimes, yeah, I know you go for walks maybe, or you do something that you feel is not active, but walking is active and it uses your body's energy. So what you want to do is something different. Okay. And what I mean by different is really just sitting still. You don't even have to close your eyes, just sit there. And I don't care if you stare at the wall. I don't care if you're staring at, something. It doesn't matter. Ooh, excuse me. I can feel some energies. A lot of times when I'm yawning, I can feel some clearings happening. So don't mind me yawning. And Therese, by the way, thank you. I saw your comment about loving the curls. I know I'm trying to go natural and I had to get a haircut today. So trying to go all natural and I feel like it's suiting me. So I'm getting used to it, but that's another topic for another day. Getting used to our natural state of being, but anyway, so we are at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, and it is 30 minutes now that we have been tuning into the prefrontal cortex. If you like what you have heard here today, get ready for May 15th, where we're going to dive deeper into the secrets to medical intuition. And I want to invite you to come join us. It's a free masterclass where you will get to dive deep into your own intuition. And I can't wait, because I know each and every one of you is very intuitive. And whether it's fear that's stopping you from using your abilities, or whether you just stopped using them because something happened, I want to help you tune into that, because you have every right to be the intuitive, be the healer, be the light that you are. And let me tell you, I have helped over 75 students graduate with medical intuition and really ignite and fire up their intuition. And it's just been a beautiful journey. And I want to make this journey just as beautiful for you, because you deserve it. So come and join me to the free masterclass. And I can't wait to see you there. Lots of love and light. And tune in again next Wednesday to Dipal's Healings and Readings at 3 p.m. Eastern. And I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye, everybody.